So this week, we were off to South Holston. I've never been to South Holston, down around Bristol, Tennessee, Abingdon, Virginia area.
Those who live ahead of the curve.
Thing about my videos, I usually give you all the juice, so stay tuned, stay right here. I'm going to tell you how we caught them, where we caught them, and hopefully this will help you on your next fishing trip out on the water. This is the first event of the season for the East Kentucky Tournament Trail. Last week was canceled on Yatesville Lake due to high water and flooding in our local area. You know, the water, the weather, it's just been crazy. So, we're going to make the short 2.5 hour run down to South Holston and get after some smallmouth this week. So it really helps me out if you like, share, and even comment on this YouTube video. So really, summing up practice, there's not a lot of video to see from practice because we didn't boat a fish, no lie. We went out really on a sightseeing tour. On the way down, we had a flat tire, changed the tire in a Krispy Kreme parking lot. You can see that here. So if you've never done that, you aren't living, I don't guess. A lot of the smallmouth lakes in our area this time of year, you hear about people fishing the points with an A-rig or maybe a DT10 down around the dam. So opening day of the tournament, that's what we did. We hopped in the boat, we went left instead of right like the previous day, and had a plan, and our plan was to hit points with an A-rig and a jerkbait.
Smallmouth fishing, man. The way I know how smallmouth fish.
I need smallmouth fish the way I know how.
That's all I'm gonna do. I don't know what else. I'm sure there's other methods, but this is gonna be what we do.
We pulled up on our first point, and Mike catches probably our best fish right out of the gate off that jerkbait.
You didn't have it, man. I couldn't let it keep jumping.
So we had a clue, and we kind of ran with that. But we tried not to burn too much time on any one particular point or structure. We just kept moving. We kept working through, and we're honestly just running down the lake. We saw the dam, and honestly, just on an urge, all the big chunk rock laying on the front side of the dam. We thought it looked great. We pulled in. There's a couple bank fishermen, and Mike went to throwing that jerkbait, and honestly, he went to catch them. It was a crazy hour and a half.
Hammering stuff. Really hammering that jerkbait. Definitely 15, I feel like. That last one was 15. It's 16 inches.
And what was wild about the day, honestly, is that the bite only lasted for about an hour and a half, and the rest of the day was just rubbish. I think we boated 2 fish outside of that hour and a half. So, you know, don't think that we just slayed them all day, because we didn't. But now that hour and a half was pretty awesome. So we were throwing a jerkbait, and honestly, you know, traditional jerkbait, we really caught them on several. This is the Lucky Strike, Rick Clun, RCSTX. Okay, and that color's French Pearl, all right?
Really?
Now, Mike was throwing a Megabass 110, and honestly, that Megabass 110 caught more fish than this Lucky Strike. I also caught a few fish on the Rapala 110, slow sinking, shadow wrap, you know, so really I don't know that any one particular jerkbait was necessarily it. But I do think they preferred that French Pearl, that pearl white color. That's what we seem to do the most work with. And honestly, the first cast that I picked it up after Mike started catching fish, you know, I caught fish. Like I said, his Megabass 110 probably caught 3 fish to 1 fish. You know, we tried everything and just couldn't establish a bite in another way. But so what am I using to throw this? I'm throwing this on the Duckett Silverado, you know, like always. 7'6". I'm throwing it on a Corrado DC. All right. This one's a 8.5 to 1, so it's going to pick up some line relatively quickly. One of the things that I've tried to do better this season is I'm using a left-hand retrieve. All my other bait casters are right-hand retrieve. This is something I thought would really help me with jerkbait fishing specifically, and that's why I have this set up. One of my goals in this off season was to use a jerkbait more often, especially on, you know, smallmouth lakes. So when I go to Lake Erie this year, that's one of the things that, you know, I plan to do early in the pre-spawn is to throw that jerkbait more often. So the one thing that I'll be critical of my setup is this rod's too long. I need like a 6'10", and that would help me a ton. Sometimes I get my rod tip in the water, you know, when I'm working this bait. And the one thing about jerkbait fishing is taxing. You know, I told Mike about mid-afternoon yesterday, you know, my elbow was stiff, my knuckles were even stiff, you know, from being out there just banging on this jerkbait all day long. But like I said, it's the only way we could establish a bite. We really got going. We had some doubles. We had, you know, fish after fish after fish there for that hour and a half. You know, it's springtime. The best bass bite of the year is just around the corner. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm absolutely fired up. There's nothing like the adventure of going to a new lake, a new body of water, and just trying to unlock the secret to what catches giant bass. So I love my live scope. You've probably heard me talk about it in other episodes on my channel. But my question for you is, do you let yours spin with the trolling motor, or do you have it mounted on an independent mount? The more that I use my live scope and the better that I get with my live scope, I honestly feel like that thing being on a stationary mount of its own so that I could point it independently in the direction that I choose would be more beneficial to me. But how do you fish with yours? Hit me up in the comments. Let me know how you use your live. Thanks for watching. Can't wait for the next one. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss anything that I put out in the future. Thanks, guys.